All right, Chat from Fusion High podcast. Of course, we met earlier today,
Yeah.
and we were talking about X-Men '97. But there's one question I didn't get to ask you. How did it feel to get to see the positive reaction to X-Men '97? Because all over Twitter, Instagram, everybody loves this show. It's high acclaim, like I said, nominated for 2 Emmys, of course. So
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I mean, it's interesting. Like when you work in animation, you work in a vacuum, and it's like you're incubating this thing for like 2 to 3 years at times. And also, fans that have been fans of X-Men for years, they expect something that is familiar to them as well, right? But you also want to like stand on the shoulders of the stuff that came before. So it's tricky, but it feels great to know that our sensibilities are what the fans want to see. You know what I mean? So we talked about that earlier, where it's like you really want to make the show that you remember it as. You don't want to make the exact show, but it is a continuation of that, right? So the best part about it is we're speaking to kids. We made the show for kids, but the show is for people that were kids then, though. You know what I mean? So then that's great. And also it stays with the times that we updated some of them in terms of like shot selection and things like that. Like I spoke to the OG Larry Houston, he paved the way for a lot of us, right? So I spoke to him about his influences, and earlier on your podcast we talked about Ninja Scroll, and he had just seen Ninja Scroll at the time as well, and like Wicked City, and he was super influenced by Miyazaki. So, but at the time when he was making the X-Men the animated series, he didn't have so. And this is not a shot to them either. Like they were also amazing, but a lot of them were coming from like an '80s style of cartoons, right? So they had a difficulty kind of like staging things in a way that were more cinematic, and it felt like Miyazaki-esque, if you want to say that. And it became to be what it was, which I think is great too, right? You always start off wanting a show to look one way, and then it kind of evolves into what it's actually going to be. But no, it feels amazing. It feels amazing. It's like there's a level of validation there, but we're all real fans too, right? So the thesis statement for the show, the way I kind of approached it was, you have like Silverhawks, Thundercats, Mask, and Cops. Like they all had these dope intros that TMS animated, you know what I mean? Legendary. But they didn't continue that quality of animation throughout the episode because budgetarily it's hard to scale that kind of talent. But we were like, yo, we got the bag though. We can make the whole show like this. So that's the thesis statement. So the whole show should feel like the intro.
Yeah.
And so so knowing that, it feels amazing. That's a long-winded way of saying it feels dope. But that was kind of our modus operandi, so to speak.